Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I'm also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays we talk about money. And sometimes people own businesses. Whether they own a portion of a business or they own all of the business, it could be super profitable. It could be, just in the very beginning stages. But it's something that needs to be on your financial disclosures and disclosed because your spouse knows you own a business or a portion of the business. So let's talk about that because this is going to have to be accounted for in the final step of your divorce. What's happening to the assets of the business, what's happening to the debts of the business. So, financial disclosures are about full transparency. The business is an asset, although that can be really complicated, and it has a value, although it depends on the type of business it is and where it is in its life. If you are a solo practitioner, and the business only runs because of you and you step away, it might not have as much value if it's something that can actually be sold and continue to run without you. These are things that have to be taken into consideration. So, some people like to hire a business valuator. That is very, very expensive. So, if you know that this business is worth a lot, that might be perfect for you. It might be what your situation requires. If not, then you might want to look at some market analysis of similar businesses that have sold. If this is a business that is getting some sort of funding, what is the current valuation of the business? Looking at the debts, how do we value this business? And like I said, you can always hire a professional evaluator, but it is really, really pricey. You want to make sure that, and it includes it, you want to make sure that you are disclosing things such as a profit and loss statement. So on your FL-150s, it is asking for 2 years of a profit and loss statement or a Schedule C. Depends on the type of business you have, what sort of schedule you'll have from your taxes. But when it comes to the purpose of dividing that really is a jumping off point. You can kind of see that as the bare minimum that the court asks for. Just because the court asks for the bare minimum doesn't mean you should stop there. If you're really trying to have an equitable division, have full disclosure, your spouse may need to see more information. So you should disclose that. That will help the conversations go better. A lot of times one spouse owns a business. Other times, both spouses are joint owners, like a small percentage in another business. That I've seen people just go, okay, it's worth this much, and this is how much my share is worth, so this is how much you get, half of my share. But there are other folks who own and run the business together. You've got to decide, what am I going to do in this situation when we both own this business, we both run this business, or I work in this business and I derive a salary from this business, and now I'm getting a divorce and that's my livelihood. That's my income. These are things that have to be thought about because business you should be considered a joint asset, right? Was it started in the marriage? It's probably community property. So you have to think about, how do we divide this? Some couples, though, decide, we are getting a divorce, but we're still going to be business partners. And believe it or not, their relationship as business partners is way better than as married partners. So if you feel like you can work with your spouse when they're no longer your spouse and you can make the business successful, then do it. Great. More power to you. Let's have that happen. But that is an option for you. What is the most important? Why am I talking about this? Because in mediation, in your divorce, this is your divorce. You get to decide what's going to happen with things. The purpose of this video is to remind you to disclose this information so that you can have open conversations about it. Your conversation, your communication can be clear. This is how much debt this business is carrying. This is how much this business is worth. This is my percentage of ownership. This is where we expect the business to go. I don't want to keep co-owning it with you. I want to do something else. You need to be able to have these conversations, and you cannot do that if you are hiding things. So fully disclose this information. And then make the decision that you guys agreed to make. Make it. Maybe there's a partial buyout. Maybe you decide to keep running and owning the business together. Maybe there is a buyout that happens over time. Have these conversations so that you're walking into your post-divorce life with your eyes wide open. You know what is happening. You want to talk to a tax professional. Do not neglect this step. You need to probably have conversations around the tax implications if you were to buy out your spouse, or if you were to sell the business, or what happens if you sell it during the divorce versus after the divorce. These are questions and scenarios that a tax professional can really help you walk through. That way you can have a full understanding of the financial implications before you commit to something, right? It's eyes wide open. It's knowing what you're agreeing to. So have this conversation. I hope that you have a good relationship with a tax professional, somebody that you can reach out to during the year, because they're going to take good care of you. You're a returning client. They are going to communicate with you to make sure that you perform the best you can when it comes time to file these taxes. And, they're professionals, so you both can keep your tax professional in the divorce. If you like the way they do taxes and they like the way they do taxes, just keep going to them separately. That's a valuable professional to continue to work with. So you don't need to quit your tax professional. Keep working with them. It's great if you own a business. Fantastic. Make that money, right? Small business owners make this economy run. I love you. But make sure you have full disclosure in your divorce so that everything's on the up and up, everything is clear and transparent, and you can have a clear agreement going forward.